Let's start with the Tony Watt red card. It's been overturned. Common sense has prevailed. What's your reaction?
We're pleased that common sense has prevailed. We've obviously the decision's been overturned. We're obviously still slightly frustrated at the process and how it came about. We obviously can't get the second half back with 10 players, so that's disappointing for our point of view. But listen, I was an advocate of VAR before it came in. I knew there was going to be teething problems. This is a teething problem, but we have to use it better.
Yeah, is this something that you hope the authorities take on board then, as part of the learning process, like you say, because you pointed out quite correctly that you've seen a lot of angles that VAR didn't have.
Yeah, well, I think from my point of view, if you've got loads of angles to look at, then you've got to look at them. Now, if that takes slightly longer, then so be it, but you have to get to the correct decision.
So you'd be quite happy with that, take a minute or two longer, and then, maybe if this had happened, Tony would have stayed on the back.
Well, absolutely. I think if you've got access to different angles and different, then you've got to use that, because that gets you to what should be the correct decision. Like I say, I personally, I can only speak for me, I would rather they spent a wee bit longer making sure they made the right decision and looked at all the angles and all the footage.
For sure. Excellent wins against Aberdeen and Hibs, then a draw, and 3 defeats. You'll obviously be keen to ensure that those 2 victories weren't a so-called false dawn.
Absolutely. Listen, we're obviously at the back of 3 defeats, the cup game and the 2 league games. Not very much in the games at all. So we know we've got a difficult task at Parkhead this week. Celtic are a top side, some top players, top manager. But we're going there. We're going to get on the front foot and we're going to be aggressive. And it's 11v11 at the end of the day, and we'll take the game to them.
Despite the recent results for this side, underlying trends, if you like, that certainly grounds for optimism.
Well, I think so. I feel that way. I think the players are still. I think the second half performance on Saturday tells me that. Couldn't give any more. Some real bravery in possession. And that's all I can ask. I need to keep pushing them and need to keep being positive. We know where we are, we know what we've got to do, and we know where we've got to get to. So that's clear. Players are fully aware of that. I'm fully aware of that. The club's fully aware of that. And we've got a big week before we break for the World Cup.
Of course. The mere mention of the word Celtic, I'm sure, will bring some Dundee United fans out in a bit of a cold sweat. But how do you face up to this weekend?
Well, we're going down there. It's 11v11. Hopefully, if we keep everybody on the pitch. And we're going to get on the front foot. As I understand, I'm not one for looking back. That previous result and game is gone and has been. So we'll go there and we'll make the very best of it. We know it's a tough challenge, but like I say, it's 11v11 at the end of the day, and we'll get on there and we'll get on the front foot.
It'll be easy enough then to put that 9-0 out of your minds. Don't dwell on it at all. Just.
To be honest with you, we've never mentioned it this week.
Yeah.
The players never mentioned it. I'm not going to mention it. I'm not looking back. I'm just looking forward.
Yeah, just another game then.
Just another game, another 3 points.
No chance then that Celtic will be weary if after their European exploits.
Listen, I can't speak for Celtic. All I can say is that I actually thought they performed reasonably well last night, and I think they've performed well in the Champions League. They've got some very good players. They've got that big a squad that they can change as many as they want, and the quality isn't going to drop off. So, listen, that's for Celtic to worry about. I'm all concentrating on making sure that we start the game in a positive manner and we do our very, very best to take something from the game. Yeah,
despite the fact it was a heavy defeat, you don't feel that'll have any negative impact on Celtic or give you any advantage?
No, not at all.
And team news, how's everybody?
Everybody's okay. We're still missing Charlie, but he's getting better. He's improving, but everybody else is fit and available. So.
How big a miss has he been given recent results?
Listen, whenever you have a player of that stature and that quality missing it, it's going to impact the group. What I will say is, we've missed his leadership, we've missed his communication skills, we've missed his experience. At certain moments in the game, I feel like we've really missed them, those attributes that he's got. But I have to give credit to the guys that have come in and played at the back. They've done a very, very good job. And that's what it's about, it's competition for places. So listen, we're looking forward to having Charlie back, and until that point we've still got some good players to pick from.
How close is he to actually setting foot back on the pitch again?
Yeah, listen, he's back on the pitch, he's doing bits and pieces. Will we get him back before the break? I'm not sure.
Well, Scott, nice to see you. Let's look at the last few results, brilliant wins against Aberdeen and Hibs, but you've not built on that, unfortunately. The last few results haven't gone your way. Obviously not for the one to try. But how's confidence in the camp right now?
It's obviously disappointing, the last couple of results. Obviously we've got 2 great results at home, and then we've had away games since, and we've not managed to get the results that we're after. But confidence isn't low. We're still feeling that we can go into games and win. And unfortunately the last couple of times we've not been able to do that, just with one thing or another, sending offs, silly mistakes, one thing. But a good game. I look forward to this weekend.
Yeah. What gives you the hope that things will turn soon then?
Just the things that we're doing in training. And there's moments in games where we've looked really good. It's just if we can tidy up in the small things and stop, as I say, the silly mistakes and stuff, we'll be fine.
Is that the thing? Is it decision making? Is maybe undoing all the hard work that you're putting in?
Yeah, a couple of things. I mean, obviously we can still perform better in games, and if we can cut out the individual mistakes and just bring a bit more to the table, we'll be fine, and we'll get the results we're after.
Now the results don't convey a positive message, but you've got to look below that. Obviously the gaffer's made a few tweaks to personnel and the tactics. Are they having a positive impact, do you feel?
Yeah, definitely. I think since Foxy's took over, he's implemented a style that we're trying to get across, and it's not going to happen straight away. It's going to take time. I think there has been positive signs, but we just need to stick with it, and eventually it'll come. Obviously,
you don't need reminding of the last time Dundee United met Celtic, but what are your thoughts going into this?
Looking forward to it. Obviously it's always good to go and play at Celtic Park, big stadium, big crowd, big occasion, and it's always games to look forward to, and we've got a game plan to go out and get a result.
It's all in the past, obviously, but that 9-0 result, how important is it that there's no kind of mental block as a result of that going into this game?
Yeah, it's important. I mean, we can't be looking back to that game and going into this game. Obviously look at the mistakes that we made, but we need to go into the game with a positivity that we can get a result, and we believe that we can.
And great to have Tony Watt available. He'd be a great guy to have as the last line of attack.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously good to win the appeal and to have him in the squad for the next couple of games is a boost for us.